Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube universe, what is going on with you on this Friday evening? It is Friday, 8 o'clock p.m. California time, January 6th, 2023. We are in the new year. Hope you all are doing well. I am, of course, your always gracious host, Fallon from GoNootropics.com. Coming at you with the ashwagandha tea. Cheers. First video of the new year. Ladies and gentlemen, drop a comment. How are you doing? It's been about a couple weeks since the last upload. I just returned from New York with Christine. We've been taking it easy, baby. We've just been hitting cruise control, taking it easy. And, soaking in the new year, figuring things out. This was probably the best time I've had in New York. I've been to the city maybe 4, maybe 5 times, 3, maybe 4 times at this point. This was the best time I had in the city. A newfound appreciation for the city, the architecture, even the people. You read the news about New York being this very liberal state, and it's true. They have these liberal policies and this and that, but the city's pretty hardcore. If you look at the architecture, if you look at the people who built that city, there's nothing soft about the city of New York. If you just look at the buildings, it's like you go to a place like New York City and it's like, man, there were some serious men who built this city, baby. Serious. It's like, can you just imagine? Our generation, if you're my age, 33 years old, 34 years old, our generation wouldn't be able to build New York City. Are you kidding me? We're gonna build New York City? No way. But they did back then. They built it. And so everything New York City has a certain type of edge. And you talk to the regular people, and, they're just like normal people. They're not like the people you see on the news. You don't see a bunch of the stuff they say about the city that they say on the news. You go to the city and people are, for the most part, normal. A big difference between the people over there compared to California, I noticed. It seems like more like a hustler's mentality, man. If you walk into like one of those little bodegas in New York City, there's shops everywhere, little bodegas you can walk into, and you know what, buy whatever you want. They're breathing down your neck. They're hustling. They're like, you want to buy this one, you want to buy that one. I wanted to buy this hat, but I like snapbacks. The guy didn't have any snapbacks, and I told him, I'm like, look, I like this hat right here, but I need it in a snapback. I don't want to do the Velcro. I don't want to do the one size thing. And he's telling me, oh, it's all right. It's perfect fit for you. Perfect fit. And I had to extract myself from the situation. And you got to be forceful in directing the city, or else you're gonna get mowed down. They'll hustle the money straight out of your wallet in New York City. So they don't mess around. The city is, I'm growing to like the city of New York more and more. It's got its problems, of course, but there is a certain type of, griminess and edge to New York that I like. And it was cold. It was like 13 degrees. And when it's cold out, people are just more like hardened, here in California. Maybe that's why we're so soft. It's because the weather's so nice all the time. Here in California, you go to a place that's cold, people don't have time for any of the bullshit. That we got a bunch of time for all kinds of bullshit here in California where the weather is nice. And the sun is more or less always out, although we have had a few cloudy days here in California. But regardless, the Enterprise is here, back in California, back in the studio, baby. So here is to 2023. I hope all you guys are having a good year. Some of us have made resolutions. Most years I just wake up and I'm like, well, I'm the same piece of crap I was in last year. Nothing has really changed, has it? You wake up in the new year. What has changed? Well, nothing has changed because the time it takes for you to change yourself takes many years. Not just 1 year, not just 2 years. It takes 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? Making these micro changes over time. So I didn't write down any goals. I didn't write down any, I'm just, the idea of New Year's resolution is just so, it just puts me off. There's something that irks me about making New Year's resolutions. Maybe because I've done them in the past, they never work out. It's like, how many times are the years going to go by? Say you're going to do something, you don't do it, and you just end up starting. Now I prefer to start things in the middle of the year or whenever I feel like it, right? And for a lot of us, things might be going pretty good for you. It's like, well, how much more can you climb? How much more can you climb? How much more can you accomplish? Certainly, you got these kind of dubious goals in the back of your head, maybe things you want to accomplish. But for me and for a lot of people, we have these goals. They're probably not our own goals. And we think we need these things. And just imagine spending a whole life working for these goals that we don't even want, right? I think most of us just want to just chill. We just want to relax. I don't want to work myself to the bone. Working is good. Hard work is good, and hard work is fine. But I feel like in today's world, goals truly inspire the modern man. Making $100,000, that's not a goal that gets me excited. Making $1 million, that's not something that gets me excited. If I could, like I said in the last video, build something like New York or the Brooklyn Bridge or the Verrazano Bridge, and I was like making the blueprints and overseeing the project, that to me is something that makes sense. Like, look, it's this practical thing. You're building a bridge to get across the water, and it's going to benefit millions of people over many years. It's like, well, there's a goal that's like, let's do it, baby, let's do it. But now in the modern world, the men before us have built most everything. It's like, what more needs to be built? We got all the bridges. We got all the infrastructure. We got all the big things in place. And now it's just kind of like the modern man. All he can do is pretend that what he is doing is somehow meaningful in the modern world, when largely the systems have already been set up. All the major work has been done. It's like the team. If you think of America as a team or society as a team, we're like the third stringers in this world. We're the third stringers. And it's like we're coming along. We've already won the game. And we're coming along in the last quarter of the game, right? This is like the last quarter. All the hard work, all the heavy lifting has already been done. And we're just here to, like, what? We're here to build what? Maybe maintain. It's like, yeah, we could maintain society. But to have these useless goals of make X amount of money or X amount of dollars, it's just like useless. It's the numbers in a computer, numbers in a computer. We're the third stringers coming into society at the very end of the game. And we're on the field acting like we're here to contribute something big. What's there to contribute now? I think we've reached a point where of building so much, it's like maybe we need to retract a little and maybe not focus on building so much. I don't know what we're going to do as a society. I don't know how man is going to find meaning in this world, the modern man. The modern man who gets up, clocks in, How does a man find meaning? How does a man set goals? Even, saying you're going to the gym is just so tiring. And there's nothing wrong with that. But everybody has that goal, you know? And maybe it's a little bit of ego on my part that I don't want goals that everybody's got. I don't want goals that everyone has. I don't want to stand in line at the gym. I don't want to wait for the machines, right? I don't want the goals that everybody has. It's like, I want to discover something that when I find it, it's just me there. And it's like a few people, It's like you find a secret spot in the woods, and that secret spot brings you a lot of joy. But once it becomes discovered, once a lot of people discover it, that thing loses its value because now, well, it's not just you who did it, it's everybody else. Everybody else knows about it. Everybody else wants to go to it. Everybody wants to go to Times Square. We went to Times Square in New York. And this is where they got, of course, the massive buildings and the massive big screens up on the buildings. Everybody's taking selfies. And it's just like there's too many dang people here to even enjoy this. Can you imagine how much better that place would be if there were no people? But when everybody's around there taking selfies, and it's like you just got to herd through the cattle, schlep through the cattle. Well, the place loses a little bit of its magic. When everybody around is just, they didn't build this place. They didn't discover this place. They just they're there just to see what somebody else built. They're there to see what people before them did. You look at a building, it's like there was somebody who made that. There was somebody who designed that. And you're just kind of there to soak it in. And it's fine to be in kind of that perspective mode, like as somebody who's just watching something happen. That's fine. But that should probably take up maybe 20-30% of your time. It's great to enjoy the work of others. But if all you're doing is consuming, YouTube videos, consuming something that somebody else put out, it's like, man, that's a recipe for depression, is when you're just in that consumer mode. And deep down, you want to be doing these things too. Maybe you don't have the confidence to do them or this and that. But deep down, that just watching things happen, not a good place for you to be in. And then the question arises, well, what should you do? What can you do? What can you do that hasn't been done? With the internet, you see that pretty much everything has been done. Right? Everything, it's all been made. It's all been made. So I don't know. There are no answers. 2023 will bring its own set of challenges. There'll be some glory mixed in there, You go out and you secure some wins. You build your confidence. And confidence is really, at the end of the day, just winning a few times in a row. That's it. Confidence is not this esoteric thing that some people have. Well, they got that because they won a few things in a row that triggered these positive chemicals in their brain, and then they just kept winning. But for a lot of us, we've had a lot of losses. We've had some losses, right? And life is not fair. Sometimes you're just born ugly, baby. You're born with some type of deficit. Even if you're born attractive, you got dealt some messed up card in some other area of your life, and you just deal with it, right? But just figure out a way to rack up just a couple wins. Focus on the first win, and then just keep it going. If you're not a confident person, well, you just haven't won. You haven't figured out how to win yet. And so you may be in a zone where you're just kind of vegetative, and you've been depressed and stifled to the point where you can't go out and do anything. You got no energy to do anything because you've experienced so many losses. And that's why you've got no confidence, is because you haven't gone out there and gotten the prize. You haven't gone out there and won anything, you know? So in 2023, maybe it's not about goals. It's just about getting some type of win that you could look at and just be proud of. You know, come off of the kratom, come off of the booze, right? Come off of something. Do something that's difficult. Rack up some wins in business, relationships. You know, these are like the major ones. Your family life, your personal life. Rack up a win in one of those areas. Just one win. And then just start stacking them. You know, read some books. I don't know. 2023. It's going to be like 2022 if you don't change something, baby. If you don't change something, you're going to be on the same roads, right? And just don't lose. Don't let that final just little, most of us are just out here operating on just like the tiniest spark of spirits, you know, just the tiniest spark of the spirit is just barely lit, you know, and the storm's outside and all you got is just this little fire that just keeps going out. You just got to find a way to build it up, and largely block out a lot of the crap, a lot of the news that lies to you, and a lot of the people that lie to you, and a lot of the media, and a lot of the things that pull the veil over your eyes. You know, like Terrence McKenna said, who cares what they have to say? Who cares what their experience is? That's their experience. Two people can go to the same place and two people can come out with a totally different experience of that place. Who cares what their experience is? Who cares what this YouTuber says? Who cares what the media says? Go out there and figure it out for yourself. And you know what? Maybe you find out the same thing that you've been told, or maybe you don't. But at the end of the day, get your own experience, form your own opinion, baby. Just come on. Just get out there. Go get the data yourself. Go do your own research, right? That's what they don't want you to do, your own research. They want just to present you with the research, and here you go. Here's your prepackaged experience. Here's what to think. And you know what? Don't go out and study it on your own. We've done all the work for you. We built the buildings for you. We built the bridges for you. We did all the scientific research for you. So you can just sit there in your room and do nothing. Right? Just do nothing. That's what they want you to do. So 2023 is fighting against that. Every day is fighting against that. 2022 is fighting against that. But did we do it? Did you do it? So that is the video of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Fallon, GoNootropics.com, rolling through the new year, baby. We are going to keep this train rolling. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for sticking around, subscribing, checking out the content. And as always, I will see you very soon. Peace.